Action. All right, welcome back to the Chemical Man podcast. Today I want to talk about training. So this would be for new people, old people, however you want to go. This would be for anybody out there. So as someone that has trained people or does still continue to train people, I just want to say a few notes on there. So most of the time you're going to have someone new. Sometimes they've worked in other units, other plants. Sometimes they haven't. But it doesn't really matter if they've worked there or not. The thing that I've picked up over the years is that you're going to have a new person. They're going to have their training book. They're supposed to show them, what they're supposed to train over. Some places will have signatures when they've trained over this piece of equipment. You sign off and you go from there. But what I've learned over the years is it's probably a good idea if you're training someone, keep a notebook, keep some kind of daily notebook or notepad or something about everything you go over. So if you go over with so much equipment that day, I would type it up and say we went over X, went over Y, went over Z, went over this, went over that. Because the training guide's not going to have everything in there that you train on somebody. And it's always a good idea to keep notes of what you train. So if I've trained John Doe over here and I trained him on 3 different columns that day, then I would write in there, I trained him on column 1, trained him on column 2, showed him this, showed him that, a whole daily log of every day. That way at the end, when they are bringing all his paperwork together, asking him questions, asking what he knows, what he doesn't know, you can provide that and say, hey, look, this is everything we went over when I trained him. Some things aren't in that book for the training guide, but this is everything on there. So the person that you train can't come back and say, well, he didn't show me that, or he didn't show me this. When you can say, no, I did show you that, and it was on this day, and this is what we talked about, and this is what we both discussed. It's a great thing to have. I've been burned in the past. I'm sure other people have been burned in the past on there. Like they didn't show me this, they didn't show me that. But it's a good way to actually also keep a track of what you're training every day. You can go back and say, hey, we did talk about that. Let's go back and review what we went over here, and let's go back and review this if you may not get it on there too. You can also go back. It's also a good idea to, if you have a boss or a supervisor that wants to know how they're doing, you can sit in that paperwork. Hey, here's all the paperwork. Here's what we've been going over every single day. Here's all the stuff that we've been training. If you want to ask him any questions about these things right here, he should know these things, and he should know on this list. Nothing like some kind of pop quiz like, I want to know this about over here, but you didn't even talk about it. So at least you have a consistency of a day-to-day training log of everything you do on there. Also, on that note, if you're getting trained by somebody and you don't feel like you're getting the proper training, man, either talk to the person that's training you and tell them, hey, I don't feel like I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Can we go over some stuff? And if they're just not willing to help you out, or they're just refusing to really train you, speak up. Speak to your foreman. Speak to your supervisor. If you're in a union plant, speak to your union committee man. Speak to your union steward. Tell them, hey, man, I just don't think I'm getting the information I need with this person. A lot of times they can transfer you to a different trainer. They'll transfer to somebody else, I know it sucks, but I've been fired. I'll just tell you right off the bat, I've been fired because people feel like I didn't train them the right way, or I was given too much information and they just didn't feel like they needed it. So they fired me and went with somebody else, and that's fine with me. I'm there to train. I have a job. I know my job. I'm there to help you out. I'm there to make sure you know your job and know everything about that you need to know about your job. So it's just what it is. But if you're just trying to learn something and you're asking questions on there, man, take it up higher if you need to. Find somebody else. Say, hey, I really need somebody that can kind of talk to me and hone in on my questions versus the person I'm dealing with. And a lot of times people will be like, hey, man, I'm sorry. That's just kind of the way I was trained. And, so this is how I'm training you. And that's all I know. And then that's perfectly understandable. If there's somebody else that can help you out, do it too. As a shift, come together as a shift, come together, talk about things on that too. But I really highly recommend keeping a daily log of everything that you train about every day. It is worth it. It is so worth it. At the end, you can go back and everything that you've gone over, you have a list and you can show them. Right here. This day we trained over that exact thing right there. Now, if you didn't get it and you didn't understand it, I understand. You should have asked me questions. But moving forward, we trained on that. And let's talk about it again on there too. It's good for the trainee too. If you're the trainee and you're learning a job, write down as much stuff as you can. Some people aren't good about remembering it all. Write down anything you can. Write down flows. Look at your P&IDs. Draw the unit out there. Write down certain things you see out there in the unit. Go back and look at it. Talk to your trainer, saying, hey, it looks like the P&ID shows this valve, but I don't find it out there. And the trainer will be like, oh yeah, well that P&ID hasn't been updated yet. It's because the valve got changed out, or we're going a different route in there. Oh okay, well, cool. Well, you can update that. Look at your procedures. Follow your guidelines. If there's something in your procedure you don't understand, talk to your trainer, saying, hey man, really, this doesn't make any sense to me. And most of the time, I'll tell you this right now: if you've done the same thing over the course of so many years, and you look at that procedure as a guideline, and you're like, oh yeah, well, we don't really do that anymore. We do it this way, and we haven't updated the procedure. Update your procedure, man. Update your control valve numbers. Update your different things in there. It helps you, and it also helps the next person that's coming behind you too. I know it's a lot of things to think about, but it does help everybody out there on that too. And really, that's just it. Just train the person. If you're the person getting trained, ask questions, take lots of notes, be prepared. You're going to go through different training classes. Some places you'll go through all your permits before you get out in the field. Some places you'll go through all your EHS stuff before you get out in the field. So before you even you'll go through several weeks before you even get out and find out what unit you're going to be in and who you're going to work with on that too. So hopefully you get a good shift you train on. If you like to cook, break bread that way. Cook for the shift, Say, hey, I'll cook for y'all since you're training me, and go that route too. And get everybody comfortable with you. But yeah, just some food for thought. Just to think about things when you're training people and different things, and keep a log and go from there. Anyway, just wanted to throw this out here. Had a little video for everybody. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Keep it safe. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, y'all be safe, and talk to you again.